Data deduplication. Now, what is data deduplication? This data deduplication is to save the disk space. It is to save the disk space, and how and what it do actually, it identifies and removes the duplication within data without compromising the data's integrity or fidelity, and has the goal to store more data on a less space. So basically what happens, if suppose we share some directories or share some data uh, through our file server, and that users use those data. Now what users do, what they store data into it. Now what happened, let me give you an example first. Now suppose this is our file server, and we share a directory from here, from the file server. Now when we share the directory, so actually the directory is stored into our server, our server's local storage, that is suppose in a D drive, C drive, whatever. Now this directory I shared with these three users. Now I create these different directories for these different users. So suppose when this user log in, so it will store data into its own directory. When this user logs in, it will store the data into its own directory. And this user log in, then it will store the data into the same its own directory. Now all these three directories under the main directory, and main directory is stored into the server, in the file server storage. Now what happened if suppose these all three users start storing the files which is actually duplicate? For example, someone get the movie here, someone get the movie here, one movie image here, or application movie or application image or something. Now this user got it. Now this user says that this user informed the other users like, okay, I got these things. So they say, okay, let me give me that also. What this user do, it stores the data into its own folder here. Now these user can't see the folder, the data of that user, because they don't have access on that user's directory. Because of the security, we have not allowed them to access each other's directory. So this user store the data into the same directory, its own directory. Let's say it is 4 GB data. Now it share the data with the other users with the flash. It says that I got this interesting thing, you should also see. Now they do what? They take that file and they store that file into their own directory. 4 GB here also. Now this one is also storing the data into its own directory. Now what is happening here? All these three users are storing the data of 4 GB. The data is same. The data is same, and that data is stored into these three directories. That means we are now having 3 copies of same data in our main directory, and that data is stored into our hard disk. Now the exact same data which is taking 12 GB, it should be only 4 GB, because now it is taking 12 GB space in our hard disk. So it is just wasting the 12 GB, or we can say it is wasting the 8 GB, because the real data is actually only a 4 GB data. But we are having the data of the copy of the data, and we are storing that data into separate directories. We can't store the same file in the same directory, but we can store the same file into multiple different directories. And this is only 3 users, but if suppose multiple users start storing duplicate files into the directory, into the storage, then it will take, or it will waste lots of space. Now what data deduplication do? It will save the space. This process, this data deduplication do what? It will save the space by eliminating these duplicate files. So it removes those duplicate files and try to save those extra 8 GB. Now the 4 GB will be there, but it will try to save the extra 8 GB. Now how it will do that? It looks like a magic, but it do that by a simple method. It do this by using some calculation and some technology. It is what? It is called data deduplication. So what it do here? So it identifies and removes duplication within data without compromising the data's integrity or fidelity, and it is has the goal to store more data on less space. So because we are saving the data, we can store more data than what we can save the data also, because that means we can store more data in the less space. Now when you enable the data deduplication on a volume, a background task runs with low priority that segments data into small and variably sized chunks and identifies the duplicate chunks and replaces redundant copies with a reference and compress the chunks. So what it do actually, so it do simple thing. The task, when you enable it, the data deduplication, what it do, it runs the background task in the low priority, and what that task do, it first segments the data into small and variably sized chunks. So it will first segment the all data into small chunks and then identifies the duplicate chunks, and then replaces redundant copies with a reference. So when you have a redundant copy, so what it do here, it redundant that it removes those redundant copies and only keep the reference, and compresses the chunks, and also then compresses the chunks to save the space. Now what that means, keeping the reference, that means remember the example we saw, that the same 4 GB data was stored by 3 different users. So it will do what? It will remove the two 4 GB data. It will keep only one data of the 4 GB, and it will only keep the reference that this data belongs to this user home directory, this user home directory, and that user home directory. So it only keeps the reference that this data can be accessed from this directory, that first user directory, then the second user directory, and the third user directory. So users will not see the difference. Users feels that the data is there in their home directory. So whenever they go to their home directory, whenever they access their home directory, they will see the file. But actually the file is in the centralized space, and then it is having only the reference of those copies. So by doing this, it actually removes the extra 8 GB space and keep that 4 GB only. And rest of the part, it will only keep the reference that this data belong to these directories, and that is how it saves the space. So in this example, what it shows here, that what you do here, suppose file 1 and file 2. Now in file 1 and file 2, if you see the data, even in the file also, it is not like that. It is not like a separate file. Even within the file, suppose we have this same data, like in file 1 we have ABC MN, and in file 2 we have ABC XY. Now in these two files, what we have, ABC is the common thing. The rest of the things, MN or XY, is the different. Only the simple file, same file is in the file we have a same thing is ABC. So what it will do here, the file 1 and file 2 will remain same, like the standard info will be same, the first will same, repos the data will be like this. In here, in the chunk store, what it will do here, it will keep the metadata of that ABC file, ABC. So this is the ABC, and it knows that ABC related to this chunk A and chunk B both, and the different things will go into the chunk IDs offset, So the same ABC it will remain, and the other ABC in the other file will be removed. From the other file, it will only keep the reference that this file this ABC is also there with this XYZ. So under the chunk ID, it will keep the reference of that ABC in the file B, that this ABC is also there with this XY. So within 2, it only keep this ABC one time ABC and remove the other time, and only keep the reference as when you access this file 2. So it will get the chunk stream B, and from the chunk stream B it will get the data of this XY. Before that, it will get ABC from this chunk. So it is actually removing the rest of the space and then keeping only the reference of the data, that the data belongs to which chunks also, like which chunks and the files. Now data deduplication components. What are the components we have? So it is a filter driver which monitor locals or remote input output. Then the data deduplication role service, which controls the three available job types, that is optimization, garbage collection and scrubbing. So optimizations will do the optimization and remove the redundant chunks, and then garbage collection will collect the all extra garbage, like whatever deleted things, and then scrubbing will do what? The scrubbing thing. So these are the components of this data deduplication, and this data deduplication is installed as a role in our server 2016. So first we have to install the role and then we can configure it in our drive. Now this is the data deduplication component. This is the task which it do, like it saving 80%. How it will save and optimize the data to save the 80% is very simple. It do what? First, suppose before deduplication you will see 10 TB data is there. Then after deduplication, what it will do? It will is to optimize the stubs and then it will store into the chunk store. And after deduplication, 2 TB physical size can be saved up to 2 TB. Say saving the 8 TB and it will become like only 2 TB. So this 10 TB data can be stored into only 2 TB because it is having some duplicate files. So it can save 80%. Now it depends on the data that how much it can save. It can save a lot of data. It can save lot of data based on the duplicate data. So if you are having in 10 TB, if you are having the whole 9 TB or whole 9 TB is a duplicate file, then it can save all the 9 TBs and it will get you only, it will store that data into only 1 TB. So this is the components in the file system NTFS. We have file data, metadata and regular storage and chunk store. And in this regular and chunk store we have input output file and data duplication filter driver. So with that it do what? It run the data deduplication job, and this data deduplication job does what? Collect the garbage, scrub the data and optimize the data. And for that we use it runs as a background data deduplication service, and we can manage this data deduplication from server manager or Windows PowerShell, or also we can manage it from Windows management instruments. That is another tool, but we can manage it. This is not available by default. We can manage it through directly server manager or PowerShell. Now for deploying data deduplication, prior to installing or deploying and configuring data deduplication in your environment, you need to plan your deployment using the following steps. First, target the deployments. Target the deployments that where you have to deploy it. Then determine which volume are candidate for deduplication. For example, the volumes which we have shared with the multiple users, and multiple users are storing the data into that particular volume. So that may be the proper candidate for the data deduplication, because there is a chances of having duplicate files. Then evaluate the saving with the data duplication evaluation tool. Then we should evaluate the saving also. Then plan the rollout. Plan the rollout, scalability and deduplication policies. That means if we want to roll out the data deduplication, or you want to scale the data deduplication, so we have to consider the data deduplication policies also. Now data deployment, deploying the data deduplication. After completing your planning, you need to use the following steps to deploy the data deduplication to a server in your environment. So first what we have to do is to install the data deduplication component on the server, and it will install as a role. Then we should enable the data deduplication, and then we can configure the data deduplication jobs. Now jobs means it will be as a job it will run, and it will run as a schedule. So we should have to configure the schedule for it. Like you want to run it on daily basis, you want to run it on a weekly basis or monthly basis. So you have to configure the job and configure the schedule for that. That when you want to execute that data deduplication job. Now one more thing, we can't enable this data deduplication on C drive. C drive, that means the drive which is having a installation. Like our installation is under the system drive, that is C drive. So we can't enable this data deduplication on our C drive. We can enable it on any other drive or any other data drive, but it is not for the C drive, not for the system drive. And we can configure it from the server manager. So first we have to install the data deduplication role, and then we can configure it. So this is our server. Now for data deduplication, first you will go to file and storage services, and in that you will go to volumes. Now volumes, you will see all the volumes you have. Now right now we have this volume, C drive, and this is the system volume, which is for the recovery. And this one we can't use it, this one we can't see it in our PC. Like this PC, when you check, you will not see that drive because that is for the system drive, that is for the recovery drive. Now we have only this C drive available, this volume. Now we want to enable the data deduplication on the volume. So we can see the option here that data deduplication rate, savings, whatever. It can see the status here. But when I go to right click on this, so this is the option called data configure the data deduplication. Now it is not showing here because the first thing is that the role is not installed. So first you have to install the role, and then you can configure this data deduplication option, and you can enable the data deduplication on any volume. But one more thing also, that you can't enable it on C drive. It is not for C drive. If you want, then you can enable it on the other drive. That means this C drive is our system drive, our partition, our installation is there in this C drive, so we can't do that here. So we have any other hard disk connected, we have any other storage connected, we have any other partition or any other volume we have in the same disk, we can do that, but we can't do it on the C drive. So how many disks we have? So we have only one disk. So what I will do here, I will create one more extra volume here in that disk, so that we can do this data deduplication. So what I will do here, I will shrink this C drive to make some space, and then on that volume we will create we will enable the data deduplication. So I will use some 20 GB from it, or otherwise if you have another disk which is having the space, then you can do that. I'm creating the volume here. Only the thing is that we can't do it on our system drive, on our system volume. Now we have the extra volume available. So I will refresh it here so I can see that. And here it is. Now we can see the other volume. Now when I right click, again I can't see this data deduplication option. That is because the data deduplication role is not installed. So first we have to install the role. So I will go to manage, add and remove roles and features, and then I want to add the role of data deduplication. So I go next here, next, on the server, next. Now under this role tab, we'll open this file and storage services. Under the file and iSCSI services, we have data deduplication option here. When you select this, it will show you the description here that data deduplication saves disk space by sorting a single copy of identical data on the volume. So this is the simple description of it. So I click this and it says okay, next, no feature I need, and then restart if it is required, and then install. Now after installing it, we can see the data deduplication, that option is available, and then we can configure. We can enable the data deduplication, we can enable the job, and then we can configure the schedule also. Okay, now it is installed, so I can close it from here, and I will go back to my server manager, and now I will refresh it first so that it will update the view. Okay, now what? Now we can do that. Now let's again, I will select the C drive, our system drive, right click, and now I try to see what configure data deduplication. I'm not able to see that. I'm not able to use it because remember I said that in the system drive, on a system drive we can't do this. Now I have this other drive, so I go to this other drive. Now see, I can have the option to enable the data deduplication. Now before enabling it, what I will do, I will create some data into it. Right now there is no data into it, so I will try to create some data into it first. So I will go to the drive now, and what I will do, I will create one folder here. And under the folder, I will try to create a file here. Now this is just a text file, so I will try to put some data. Now this will not make much data, but I will do what? I will copy and paste it. Then again I will select all and copy and paste. I'm just trying to increase the data, so select all, copy and paste. So just I want to enable that, increase the data. Okay, now I will save this, and let's see how much data we got. Okay, how much it is? It is 44 MB file. Okay, I will do what? I will copy this file itself and then paste it. Okay, so how much data we have now? We have almost 1 GB. Now what I will do, I will go back to my drive and I will copy this directory now and try to create new directories, a copy of the directory. Now what I did here, I copied the same directory 4 times. So total space in this drive, we actually total space is almost 4.80 GB we have used almost 4.80 GB space from this E drive. So we can check the properties of the E drive. So we can see that almost 5 GB is used here. Now what? How much data we have? Now basically how much data it is there. So if you see, these directories are same. These directories are having the identical data, and in the directory we have these files. Now all these files have also identical data. Now inside the file also we have identical data. If you see inside the file, so only these 4 lines are different, then all these data is a copy of these 4 lines. So basically how much data we have? We have only this 4 line of data. This 4 line of data is copied multiple time in the same file. Then the files are copied into multiple times in the directory, and that directory is also copied into multiple time. So basically what we have is the same data. We have the same 4 line data on these all 5 GB. So almost 4.80 GB is having only 4 line of data. That is the duplicate data. So now what we want? We want to save it. So what we'll do here, we'll right click on the drive which is the candidate for the data deduplication. So I know this is the one. So I'll go to and configure this. So by default it is disabled. So what we have to do first, we have to enable it. Now when you drop this down, you see these options. First, general purpose file server. This is to enable it just like a file server, just for the file server purpose. Or suppose if it is a virtual disk infrastructure server and the data is stored from the virtual disk, or if it is a virtualized backup server. Now this means what? It is a desktop infrastructure, VDI infrastructure server, where all the remote users try to connect this server through the remote desktop. So they do connect to this server and they use their own directories, and also they create the duplicate data. So for those kind of data we should select this one. For the virtualized backup server we should select this one, but our storage is not for this purpose, so we will use the general file purpose. Now it is saying here that duplicate file older than the in days. Now here we can decide that how many old data we want to remove, like 1 day data, 2 day data, 3 day data. We can decide here that how much old data we want to delete. So if suppose the data will be duplicate, but still we can keep that data for these number of days. So we don't remove those data until these 3 days. Now we can't wait for the 3 days. So I will do what? I will make it 0, so that the right now which we have created the data right now, that can be also optimized. Then we can decide here to exclude some extensions, like type of the file extensions that you want to exclude from data deduplication. Separating extension with the comma, for example, like this. Like for example, we have the multiple files in the directory. In the data, in this volume, we have multiple directories, and multiple directories have multiple different datas. It has movie, it has images, it has documents, it has text files, images, PNG files. Now these text files will not take much of the space. Document files will not take much of the space, but those movies and videos will take lots of space. So we want to optimize all the data. We just don't want to optimize the documents and text file. So we can exclude those extensions by using this. We can add those extensions one by one here. We mention the extensions here by separating them by comma, like this, and then we can add them. Now when we add them, then what? It will not be optimized. It will not be optimized. All the other data will be optimized. Then we can configure the schedule. We can configure the schedule for running this deduplication job. This is to set the job. When we press OK or apply, it will be configure the job for the data deduplication. But we can configure the schedule also, that when it should be run. So we can go to the schedule and we can configure the schedule that when we want to run this data deduplication job. Like for example, here it is enabled in background. So it is showing that this is enabled in the background optimization. So regularly run data duplication at low priority, and pause data deduplication where the system is busy, to minimize the impact on system performance. So by default it will do this, that it will run only run a data deduplication job in low priority. Low priority because it will not get the most priority to perform, to impact the system performance. It will run as a low priority. That means if any other task we run which is which is important, then this task will be paused and the other task will run, and that will not impact the performance of our system. So this is the default behavior of it. Now if we want to set the schedule like daily or in that time or in that day we want to optimize, then we can set the schedule also. For example, I can enable the throughout optimization. During the specified order hours, run data deduplication at normal priority and consume the resources required to minimize the performance, maximize the performance. That means by default it will not use the resources, it will run in the low priority. But if you run the schedule, that means what? It is going to run on this particular day, on this particular time. It will run with the normal priority and use the maximum performance. So it will do the data deduplication quickly. Now we will set the time and day when the other users are not working. So we can configure the time and day when other users are not working so that it will use the maximum performance. So for example, here I am setting data duplication daily. Daily, that means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day, and it will start on 1 o'clock, 1:45 o'clock. So it is like it is an AM, so it is going to be on the night. So we can decide that on which time it will start to do the optimization, and it is in 24 formats. So by default it is set to run on a night when the other users are not working, and it will take the duration of 6 hours. That means it will take 6 hours, run the full optimization with the full maximum performance, and if suppose within the hour it is optimized, then it will okay, and if it is not optimized, then it will go back to the normal one. That means it will run with the low priority. Normally it will go run and don't use the maximum performance of maximum resources of our system. We can also configure create a second schedule or throughout optimization. We can create the second schedule also. That means if suppose the first schedule is missed, then it can go for the second schedule. Like if suppose in that time the machine was not running, at that time the machine was shut down, so it is going to run on the second schedule. So we can also configure this schedules also. Okay, so I save the schedule and then I will save this job also. Now we have configured the job, so it is going to run on that particular time daily, and right now there is no job running, and here we can see the data duplication rate is 0% and how much it saves. So right now it has not saved anything because the job has not run till now. Now what we can do, if we want to see right now, then we have to run the job right now, and that we can do it from the PowerShell. So I will do what? I will go to PowerShell and run the PowerShell as administrator. Now we have a command data dedup job. Now this will show you the data deduplication job run right now we have configured. So it is not showing any, and that means what? There is no job running right now. Then we have option to see the status. Now right now the status is saying that this is enabled on the E volume, E drive. Total space is this free space. Now there is no optimized file, there is no policy optimized, so there is no save space. So right now, because the job has not run till now, we can also see the schedule which we have configured. So this is the schedule we have configured. So on this time, on this date, it is going to do these things. So first on the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every day it will do the throughout optimization. By default it will run in the background optimization throughout, and then it will run the throughout optimization on this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. First it will do the optimization on 11:45, then on 12:45 it is doing the garbage collection, removing the garbage, and then scrubbing all the data to on that 3:45 a.m. So this is the time we have set, the schedule we have set, but right now it is not running any task, any job, so it is not showing any job here. So when it is running, then we can see the job is running and it is doing the job. So for running the job right now, because we just want to see the job right now, we don't want to wait till the 1:45 a.m. So we can run the job from this PowerShell command. The command is start dedupe job on volume E, and the type is what? Optimization. So first we have to do the optimization, then we can do the garbage collection or scrubbing, or when we do the optimization we'll do these other things automatically. So I will run the job here. Now it is running and we can see get data dedupe job. So now when we run the get data dedupe job, it shows us that how much it has done. It is still running here on E drive. Right now it is 0 progress, 0%. Now it is 20% progress, still 20%. So it is running right now. 40% is done. 60% is done. 80% is done. 80%. 100%. Now the 100%, the task is run, completed. Now when you see get data to dedupe job, there is no jobs showing because now 100% it was completed. Now we can check the status here. Now what the status it is showing here, it is saying that it has saved 4.81 GB space. 101 files was optimized. Now what that means, the data we have seen, the data was actually totally 4.8 GB, 80 GB, but it is now saying that it has saved the whole space. Now let's check it here. It is not showing anything here, but I will refresh it. And now we can see the data deduplication rate is 83% and it has saved almost 4.81 GB. 81 GB space it has saved. Now let's see the space here. Now data is still there. There is no change in the data. Still every directory it is showing that it is 984 MB. Every directory is 984 MB. And when you go to any directory, all the files are there. And each file it is showing that these files are 444 MB. And when you open any of this file, you will see the same data. So data is also there. There is no change in the data. Data is still there. Every directory is still there. In any directory you go, you will see the data. You can open any file. You can see the content. So everything is there without any change. Everything is as it is. But what it has done, it has saved the space. Now where it is saved the space, now let's check the total space here on the drive. So we can see now it is only showing 964 MB used. The whole 5 GB it has saved. So how it's saved? Now remember I told you these are all redundant copies. These are all redundant copies. These directories are all copies of this particular directory. Now in the particular directory also these all files are copy of a single file. And when you open that single file, so in that file also we have the same copy of data. In that file also we have only these 4 lines are different, and then rest of the all lines are same as these 4 lines. So these all lines are actually redundant of these 4 lines. So basically what we have is only this 4 line data, only 4 line data, and it will not take a byte, it will take only some bits. So it is only having a data of some bits, and it was showing it as a 5 GB, 4.80 GB, but the actual data is only some byte or some bit. So it has removed, it has dedupe all the data and only keep the data which is the separate data, which is a unique data, and rest of the thing is only the reference. That means it knows here, it has the reference here, that in the files these are all the copy of the same file. So it knows that all these file has how much data or how much number of those 4 lines. Now when we open any of this file, so it shows that it do what? It collects the reference, it checks the reference and show the data here. So by the reference it shows the data here. Now when you copy this file, when you copy any of this file and put it into another drive, let's say I will put it on the desktop, that means desktop means it is under the C drive, different drive where there is no data deduplication is there. So it will be a normal file here, it will be a normal size file here, and when you open you will see the file data, everything is as it is. So even we can copy the file from there where it is dedupe, and we can paste it anywhere, we can get the whole file. But in a background it is doing what? It is removing the redundant files, it removes the redundant chunks, and it only keeps that is unique. So this is the data deduplication, and this is what it do, and this is what it do, it saves the file and saves this disk space. So usage scenario for the data deduplication, consider the using data deduplication for these following areas. For example, for the file shares, like where we have shared the data directories to the users, so users can save their duplicate files. Then where the software deployment shares are there, where we deploy the software from the server to the users, so that also we can have the same duplicate files. Then where we keep the virtual disk files, so in the directory where we keep the virtual disks, so in the virtual disk can also be the same data. For example, in the virtual disk we have installed Windows 10 in one virtual machine, in other virtual machine also we have installed Windows 10, but both are same, so it will dedupe. So in this VHD libraries where we keep our virtual disk of virtual machine, it can save lots of space, because in virtual machines we store the same kind of operating system. So it can save a lot of space for us. So this is the scenario of the data deduplication examples. For the user home folder, it can save 30% up to 30%. General file share, it can save up to 50%. Software deployment, it can save up to 70%. But as I said, in VHD library, it can save up to 90%. It can save a lot of space for us. For monitoring and maintaining the data deduplication, we can monitor this data deduplication by using the PowerShell commandlet, just like we have seen for like data dedupe status, data dedupe schedule, and the other commands are there. We can use the event logs also, event viewer. We can check the logs for the data deduplication. We can use the performance monitor data also. We can set the performance monitors to check the data deduplication status. And also we can directly go to the file explorer and right click and properties. We can go to the directories, the drive and volumes and directories, and we can check the data. Now maintaining data deduplication by using the Windows PowerShell we can do by prepared the troubleshoot issues with the data deduplication. So be prepared to maintain the issues of this. Now backup and restore consideration with the data deduplication. So one of the benefit of using the data deduplication is that backup and restore operations are typically faster. Now when we take the backup means what? Keeping the data into a secure place. So copy of the data we saved into the secure place. Now where we copy this data, we save the data into some other hard disk. So on those volumes we can run the data deduplication to save the space. So in a small space, less space, we can store lots of backup files. In a less space we can save a lot of backup files also. So this can save us a lot of space for that, and it can help us to save a lot of backup files into a same volume. So this is our data deduplication, and this is the benefits of data deduplication and how this data deduplication is configured.